Welcome all. So today we are going to talk about a very interesting topic. It's more about green tea. Uh, Everybody, whenever we hear that when there is a health talk or any health conscious decision we make in our life, we immediately we choose to jump towards green tea. And same thing goes with environmental friendly activists. When they see petroleum or a lot of carbon footprint, they immediately jump to an electric car. Again, electric car is going to increase carbon footprint more than the petrol or diesel car, which they don't know. So many times we live in a life where we have to live in an illusion of we are doing good, but the idea is we never know whether the end result what we do in our any of our action is resulting in anything that is good or it is meant to be good. We don't know. We only are worried about the feel good factor. As long as you are convinced that you are doing good, irrespective of whatever bad things happen, we are not bothered. I think we should graduate from that level to a level where we really connect to that end source. So one of the key idea here is green tea here. That's a very good example because many people think green tea is extremely good for health and that is the best thing they are doing it for their body, and they're like that's the best. I think they're everybody who has green tea I've seen like it's like that's the best thing they are doing to their body. It's a very good placebo effect they are trying to build. Hopefully that really gives them a result is what I wanted it. Scientifically, it doesn't have any big changes, though it contains antioxidant. A lot of food also has antioxidant. It doesn't reduce weight loss, or like regular having consumption of green tea would reduce the weight. Some manipulated data they took it for marketing and they started using green tea. You would have not heard green tea before, even your father would have not heard it. Only in this generation we are hearing it. So, and it's not a special plant and it doesn't cure miracles and all. It is technically, if you look at it, it's the same tree plant. If you take the leaves and directly boil and drink it, it's green tea. If you take that, ferment it into a different process and then you sell it out, that is the normal black tea which you get it. And in that, if it is in the starting of the leaf, it gives more the taste, the flavor would be more. That is costly. And then the next grain size, whatever it comes, it's a medium cozy grain, that is medium or moderately cost. And the last one is the dust particle which they come out, which is what's sold in the market called as dust tea. We are drinking the dust part of the tea. Most of the tea goes out of India. So technically there's no difference, and now they have introduced called as white tea. Apart from green, they have introduced another concept called as white tea. It is again the earlier version of it. The plant is same, they are just rechanging it and they're telling it has a lot of medicinal value. Nowhere it is proven scientifically that your regular consumption of green tea will reduce the weight, or regular consumption of green tea would reduce cancer, it will protect you against cancer. No, it is purely a marketing gimmick how people are selling it. So now let me tell you a very simple example. Like I think 80 years before, there were two brothers. One brother had a cornflakes company, another brother is a doctor. He just said in the public that you should not eat wheat because wheat has gluten issue. The regular people in US, whatever the bread related things they had morning is not good for their health. People started believing it and said, what should we have? He said, we should have native sweet corn. So that time there was nothing in the market. They had to go back and they started to buy a cornflakes. That was never healthy, scientifically proven anywhere. In just because of PR of 20 years continuously, healthy American will eat only cornflakes. You don't eat all the junk food you had in the morning. Constantly bombarding a person with lie. People started believing, okay, if I need to be healthy, I need to eat cornflakes. If you really know how cornflakes is made, that is not cornflakes at all. Secondly, you will not even touch it. The normal, whatever you ate earlier was the healthier breakfast. So that is how they have been manipulated and the truth have been like completely taken to a different level. So same thing happens with the green tea also. So now it is just marketing. Everybody feels like, okay, green tea is healthy, I'm drinking green tea. No. Switch to a normal coriander leaf tea or Sukku Kaapi, what we call in Tamil. That is it does lot more miracles in the body. It can be tested also. Ginger and all these things will keep your mind alert. It balances your Vata Pitta Kapha and produces the fresh juice in the hydrochloric acid in the stomach. When you eat for the daytime, it digests properly. It gives you energy. That's what all the village people have it. And so green tea is a total it's a myth and it's been marketed very badly. If you actually look at a history of how this tea came to India, it's like around 7 to 8,000 years ago. They were having the the tea plants in China that was used for therapeutic purpose. People used to, if they are not well, they are tired, they take one leaf of that plant and they munch it, and they used to add that in their food. But later what happened is it was only meant for the royal family. So most of the food was in the royal family, like black rice was with them. They know the idea of kaya kalpa, a lot of things. Even in India we forgot the process of kaya kalpa. We learned it from China and back to India again. Now we know the kaya kalpa, that is that anti-aging, staying in the same age for a long time. So there are some royal food they kept it in that. Tea was one of the ingredients. So then it made into mass after that communist revolution there in China, and then it went out. So then everybody wanted to cultivate it because of the high value, they called it. Since it was more of high value, they didn't know how to make people consume to eat more tea leaves. So you can't ask them to eat. So then they introduced the concept of tea. Then it became a ritual, and a lot of stories have been added. They do it, but that is a different story in China. But in Japan, it's totally another story. Here, its tea ceremony is like the biggest honor you will ever receive from anyone. So this is a different story. So there, it's more like in China, it is more like making people more consume the tree in a form of a water decoction. It became tea later. Then the British people came there. They added their own mix. They added goat milk into it, and they wanted cow's milk, and they felt this is sound much more tasty. That's how the English tea was invented, and they wanted to bring that to India because India had a lot of similar weather. They can cultivate it because labors were a lot more cheaper here, and transportation was much more easy for them. And they were not able to. Chinese people did not allow it to bring it to India, so they, in fact, they created a very secretive missionaries which they sent it to all around the world to convert people to their belief system. Through them they went and they sent their spies, and they learned the art of making the trees and all that cultivation. They came back to Darjeeling and they planted it. Darjeeling, they nearly destroyed all the indigenous species of animals and plants to cultivate tea. And once they successfully do it, and then they came to Ooty and a lot of South India here. So it is never an Indian food, and it is never a drink at all. It is only a therapeutic medicine that was had for a little bit of time. Since the production is a lot more and people are consuming it, they are just inventing green tea for health. Now recently I heard white tea, and I don't know what color tea they are going to introduce later. So do not fall for it. Stick on to your traditional drink, what your grannies used to have, Sukku Kaapi or coriander tea or ginger tea or tulsi tea. We have multiple flavors and multiple benefits for us. That's more than enough for us. So don't teach everyone about this green tea myth and ask them not to follow it. They're actually harming their own body. More consumption of green tea regularly will create throat cancer. That's the latest report which I saw. So let's stop green tea and switch to our native drink, and I'll see you in another next video. If you have any specific topic, let's discuss in our WhatsApp group than in a Facebook. I think Facebook is new. People are finding it a lot more shy. People are still comfortable pinging me in WhatsApp or group, and they ping me. To me, it's all the same. So you can do it on Facebook or on WhatsApp. It doesn't matter. If I know the answer, I'm going to answer it. If I don't, I'll learn it and I'll share it with you. So let's continue our discussion in our community, and I'll meet you with another interesting topic for our group. Thank you.